So there's 6 from this series, which I'm calling Halcyon Bedpan. And yes, I'm going to read a couple, and then, yeah. I was 20, I was hiding in a tree in the grounds of the Notre Dame. Torches were being flashed by French police, but miraculously no one found me. I had set off an alarm, jumping over the wall while looking for a place to sleep. But this tree had a big deep hole in, and my coat was grey, you see, so I put it over me and crouched still, and when the guards had passed, I got down and fled into the street. I found a bar open till 5 a.m. where I met a former literature teacher in the calloused grip of a midlife crisis. He took photos of me and fed me drinks, and invited me to his tiny apartment an hour's walk away. It was sad, a bunk bed and an old TV. I woke up face down on the floor, covered in blue chalk. I still don't know why. I left without saying goodbye, then outside was screamed at by a lady who he owed money to, who I think thought I was a prostitute. I don't think I was, but my memory of this time is at best extremely hazy. I remember the future, aged 5, in the back seat of a car being driven to Scotland to visit relatives very early in the morning as the sun was rising. The future was row upon row of reassuringly self-confident electricity pylons united like brothers in arms in a cosmic relay. The future was a pair of nuclear cooling towers exhaling smoke like cheating lovers in a noir film. The future was beyond my comprehension, bigger than I, experiencing the sublime aged 5, Turner on the back seat, still periodically urinating between the sheets. We sped towards the comfortably visible future in silence through the nauseating smell of the chewing gum my father chewed as the cold sun crept across the dew that lingered on the power cables. We had risen early that day, as we did once a year every summer. I had with me a picture book about space travel, which I was not allowed to read, because on such a long journey my older sister got car sick simply by looking at me and becoming conscious that the act of reading was happening. I never got car sick from reading, which gave me a strange sense of pride that I still retain. Satellites were sewn into the inner lining of a heaving iron lung that coughed itself out of the night. There were mysteries which would soon be obsolete. There would be an end to history. There is nothing older than the end of the world. But yeah. How are you all anyway? Is everyone having a nice time?
Yeah.
That's important. It's not all about me. Walking around a city that you know very well, and everywhere you have memories, and it's like, it's nice, but it's also kind of fucking horrible, and it's like being strangled a bit. And this is kind of about essentially escaping that and learning how to recalibrate your own memories through that. It's called How to Unmake Maps. Number 1. In a novel I once read, the idea of meeting someone in an unestablished place in a pre-designated area. It sounds quite romantic, but to be honest, after about 20 minutes, we just rang each other. 2. I follow stale breadcrumb trails into dead ends and pavements with faded hopscotch games. It is ruining some of my favourite cities. 3. Our bodies too are data collection devices that soak up memories and happiness, bad food and stress. 4. Cities too have emotions and can be mapped out with their own psychic GPS. 5. I once found myself outside the house in Camden looking through the window where Verlaine, crying, slapped Rambo with a fish before he ran to catch a boat to Brussels, where he eventually shot Rambo through the hand. 6. One must recognise a castle built on sand. 7. Stick to reimagining your own memories. 8. I find myself fascinated with dandruff and dust. 9. I remember the number bus you were living on when I met you. 10. You announced proudly to the table that you had found someone who was going to let you shower in their house. 11. I often walk past the bench on which we drank a quick can of beer before saying goodbye. 12. Memories of different people mix into a bittersweet mess like good lemonade. 13. Truman Capote bleaching his veins on a string of Chateau sofas, waiting for the follow-up to In Cold Blood, pickled and purring like an elder statesman at the frayed armchair. 14. We wrongly measure out life with the weight of history. 15. I don't want to be a drunken lost seafarer, shit-faced, screaming at the sea. 16. I am told that elephants have great powers of recollection, although I have seen no evidence for this and consider it to be conjecture. 17. Only psychopaths have pure reason and no questions. An amazing illustrator did a wonderful drawing for this of Hulk Hogan lost in space. You want to see that? which is on the pamphlet. But yeah, I will stop talking now and read Hulk Hogan, Lost in Space. Hello, Pablo. Hulk Hogan, Lost in Space. A bored Hulk Hogan, relaxing at home, stroking his mustache, answers the phone. Listen to this, a desperate voice said. Hulk Hogan already scratching his head. Hulk Hogan in space, the final frontier. The American dream, the last pioneer. One last chance to roll back the years. Sweat is heard dripping down the line of the phone. The Hulk, alone, watches leaves blow around an empty swimming pool. I promise, Hulk Hogan, this is going to be cool. Don't be weighed down by your own gravitas. This could be your last chance, but just think. Hulk Hogan in orbit for 200 days, reinventing TV for the Aquarian Age. Hulk Hogan, born ready, already greased up in a spacesuit, worn over a NASA bandana, shot into space with an automated crew, ready to air his celestial views. But a nonchalant public collectively shrugged and tuned out, and the funding of the TV station ran out. And Hulk Hogan, with no news relayed, was left floating in space, but kept on blogging just in case it was a test, as the doubt ate away at his brain. Hulk Hogan in silence, tell me, how do you feel? How do you keep yourself on an even keel? How is your heart, your mind and your lungs? And for whom is the funhouse no longer fun? Hulk Hogan, captain's log, minus 61 days without contact, left floating in space. You burn up in the sun and you freeze in the shade. Hulk Hogan in space, no one cares for his words, eating the last of his freeze-dried lemon curd. Hulk Hogan, I'm afraid you can't polish a turd. You can't pump iron in zero gravity. Hulk Hogan in a moment of horrific clarity. There's a man inside the mustache and now he wants out. The sugary space food has given him gout. Tired of the rat race, he knows it's too late. Trapped in a prison, now lost deep in space. Deep down, Hulk Hogan just wants to go home, have a swim, drink a beer and just sit about. Hulk Hogan led down the garden path, lost in space, going mad in the dark as the lights flicker out. Yeah! I liked a lot of things that I do, that I like to do are kind of like experiments that I like to kind of play, like try and make poems out of like algorithms and things like that a lot of the time. And so I had, this was from like a year ago, but yeah, so basically what I was doing was going onto Google and like clearing my history, my cache and stuff like that. And so it was like not about me, but like about people's general queries, and then typing is like what is blah 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 blah, and I took down like maybe like 5 pages of all different types of stuff, and then what I found was this like half of it was like super profound and half of it was like so tedious, and I thought it was quite funny and interesting, so I sort of like collated the best of into a poem, which was Google suggestions. Google suggested searches 2016. Is Jeremy Corbyn married? When will he text me? What does the fox say? Who is the celebrity love cheat? What does bay mean? Why do we dream? Why do we sneeze? Why do we have Christmas trees? When will Call of Duty be released? Why is the sky blue? Why is the sea salty? Why is my poo black? Who danced in the Bible? Why did Pol Pot lose his scholarship? Why do we need heroes? Why does Sherlock take drugs? Why does Sheila change in Inspector Calls? Why does she ignore me? Why does she love me? Am I a psychopath? Am I pregnant? Am I depressed? Does Scotland have bears? What would happen if we left the EU? What would happen if there was no moon? When will summer start? When will it snow? Why do I keep getting colds? Why do I keep burping? Why does my dog shape? Who said I could crush a grape? When will I see you again? When will I ovulate? Why did I get married? Why did World War II start? Why did World War I start? Why did the chicken cross the road? When will I die, and will I die alone? Yeah. actually, I forgot about the sea ballads.
You did.
Yeah, no. I was gonna segue.
The guitar there.
Yeah.
There is a guitar.
Can you pass me that guitar, please? Basically, when I'm not being the French Duke, I like to write songs about
Being a French Duke.
largely about sort of sea creatures. And kind of like I've been working on a lot of songs that are sort of like contemporary sea ballads, I suppose. Which, you know, there's not enough of them about, so I thought this is called Upwardly Mobile Swordfish. And it goes a little bit like this. I want it all. I want it all. I want it more than the dirty ocean floor. I'm not afraid to say the Pacific as I say. I'm heading up into the Aegean, and I like the look of the things I'm seeing, because I'm upwardly mobile swordfish. Tory of the sea, I'm the Tory of the sea, I'm notoriously clean and there's nothing wrong with me. Tory of the sea, I'm the Tory of the sea, I'm notoriously clean and I'm Tory of the sea, I'm the Tory of the sea. I'm going offshore, I'm going offshore, 'cause I want it all, I want it all. Gonna sail the seas of finance, and I'm gonna take a vow of silence, 'cause I'm a upwardly mobile swordfish. Cristiano Ronaldo as King Lear, staggering around, drunk, clutching at straws and bottles of Prosecco. Cristiano wearing a CR7 cape, screaming, "You're not my son!" And the son he has just knocked over, twisting electro packs strapped to his crumbling body, decomposing like a wet cake in spring showers. Cristiano, jaded by success, skills and good looks long faded, chasing the final achievable accolade. Cristiano, 3 days deep in a luxury log cabin. Cristiano, why want for other images when you can have your own? Sat on a gold gilded throne that doubles up as a bust of your body in its prime. Cristiano, going blind, the world masturbation record in sight. Every inch of wall and mirror, the ceiling screaming your career highlights. Go, 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 go! Cristiano, go, go, go! Go, 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 up and down on the gold throne. Cristiano, Lionel Messi is a fading memory. Cristiano Ronaldo, more stamina and intensity. Cristiano, your genitals red from abuse like old berries meant to be made into jam. Cristiano, lubricated up to the eyeballs. Cristiano, crying silicon tears. Cristiano, your cock like an amnesiac eel lying dead for years in the desert dried up in the sun. Cristiano, memories dripping through the summer haze of salad days. Cristiano, you had a good run. Cristiano, coming up to the big one. Cristiano, 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 Cristiano! Yeah!